Welcome to the Daily Show. Please, my name is Jon Stewart. We got a lot going on in the world today. Very consequential. The things that you're seeing on the news and all that. Huge consequences. But I would be remiss if I did not comment on the big news in broadcasting. Patrick Sajak stepped down from Wheel of Fortune after 41 years. It was incredibly emotional. And I just want to say to Pat Sajak, have you thought about just doing Mondays? Because you can phone that in. But of course he is gone just in time for Pride Month, ironically. I won't mention why. Pride Month is, of course, that time of year when corporations get together and financially exploit the decades-long struggle of gay people for acceptance and equality. Hey, remember when you were fired from that bank job after you were outed? Well, Burger King does. With a burger that has 2 bottom buns. Yeah. That's not a funny make-em-up. Scarred by conversion therapy, Skittles is releasing a colorless version of Skittles. Apparently not wanting to confuse gay people with competing rainbows. Yeah. And then there's this ad showing a family overcoming a father's deep conservative values. And as you watch it, try and guess exactly what it is they're selling.
Mom, this is Amy.
Oh, hi, Amy.
Hey, Dad.
Chocolate all over your face.
You're the cutest little baby.
Here you go. Happy birthday.
Is that your dad?
What is he doing?
Did I do it right? I love you. You like it?
I love it.
What the f? Yeah, the next time you waste an enormous amount of paint to apologize to your daughter for making her and her girlfriend walk on eggshells all weekend, not even saying anything, just standing there with your little glowering beard face in the shadows, you just paint the face and give her an Oreo? And then, of course, there's Target. Pride Month means so much to them that they set up one small area in their 20,000 square feet of store to sell you a Pride t-shirt they had made in Indonesia for 29 cents landed. Because they believe so much in the cause.
Well, Target will be dialing back its Pride Month merchandise this June.
What? How will I learn to live, laugh, lesbian? That's right. Target is apparently less proud of Pride this year. But why?
Retail giant Target is grappling with backlash from conservatives over its most recent collection celebrating the LGBTQ community.
Do not shop at Target, or else you're gay and you're a pervert.
Even if I'm just getting paper towels? Is that? But that's the burden corporations must bear. They care almost too much about the human condition, often finding themselves in the crosshairs of ideologues and fundamentalists, but they stand by their values, sometimes for a couple of months. For instance, post-January 6th, hundreds of corporations announced the end of donations to senators or congressmen who voted to overturn the election. And that moral stand in defense of democracy itself lasted almost a month. Yeah, they ran the numbers, and apparently you can sell more cell phones in a dictatorship. But that month appears almost Gandhi-esque when compared to Bud Light, whose foray into inclusion was last April's incredibly not in the public's face small promotional social media video with a transgender influencer named Dylan Mulvaney, prompting a conservative Bud Light murder purge. Dear God, man! Those beers had families. Bud Light sales plummeted, stocks tanked, and it only took 2 weeks for Budweiser to issue an apology and run a new ad campaign designed to win back the kind of people who shoot at their products.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America.
A talking horse? You're apologizing about a transgender influencer using a talking horse? Well, tell us your story, National Velvet.
Found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
First of all, I think that horse is scared shitless. And second of all, the apology gift to the people upset about Budweiser is a Budweiser? Curious. But don't be sad, for this is only following in a long line of hollow corporate pandering meant to convince you that not only are corporations people, they're good people, decent people, who care about the systemic ills of this great nation. We saw this very clearly in the wake of George Floyd's murder. Corporations saw people's demand for a reckoning with America's racist past, and they said, sure, us too.
We're on a 400-year-long journey, and scars don't fade. But neither does hope.
And in the fight against systematic racism and inequality, Doritos is committing to amplifying Black voices.
General Mills serves the world by making food people love. And inclusion is one of our secret ingredients.
At Kraft Heinz, our purpose is to make life delicious. And we believe we can't achieve that without one essential ingredient: diversity.
Are you sure you don't mean sodium triphosphate? Meanwhile, while corporations forcefully pronounce their deeply held value of promoting diversity on network television, their commitment only lasted until the protests died down.
Time for the morning buzz. Major tech giants, including Google and Meta, quietly slashing their diversity, equity, and inclusion jobs this year and laying off workers in those departments. DEI-related job postings in 2023 declined 44%.
I guess they only needed to use much less of that ingredient than they thought they needed. Turns out the recipe Kraft wanted called for just a dash of inclusion, just a soupçon of diversity. So they're very clearly conflicted between the high moral values that they think we want and the amoral values that serve their shareholders. So if I may address corporate America quickly in this moment. Stop. We don't need any of this. We don't need to know that your products are used by only the most diverse families walking down sidewalks or camping, or diverse families doing a ride, or getting a loan, or doing laundry, or a diverse or that, I don't know what they are. This guy doesn't. He's got a skin condition, and no way is he dating her. No way. No way. There is no way. Oh, sure, we're supposed to believe how many beautiful, multiracial young ladies are dating eczema Opie. Oh, okay. Okay. Very believable. I apologize sincerely to that gentleman. And by the way, for those on the right who wish corporations would just ditch the woke performances and go back to good old-fashioned patriotic values, that's all bullshit too. For God's sakes, SpaghettiOs told us not to forget Pearl Harbor. By the way, why is the SpaghettiO so happy about Pearl Harbor? Is he remembering it or celebrating it? I wouldn't be surprised if SpaghettiOs supported Pearl Harbor attack. Technically, a can of SpaghettiOs is a sneak attack on your digestive system. SpaghettiOs. The Arby's of pasta. Why are we allowing ourselves to get worked up over whether giant multinational corporations are pro-gay or have traditional American values? Because corporations have but one value: shareholder value. That's all they have. That Budweiser horse that wants to restore our American spirit is actually owned by a Belgian-Brazilian beverage conglomerate. That all-American Clydesdale's name is probably Jean-Luc Bolsonaro. Even the corporations you think are sincere, like Dove, and their multi-year commitment to body positivity are owned by Unilever, also the owner of Axe body spray, and their decades-long commitment to anything that moves. There is nothing corporations do that is not in service of their bottom line. Even when you go to the checkout at the grocery store and the little card reader thing says, "Do you want to round up to help feed some children?" Well, the first thing I think is, you're the one with all the food. Why don't you round some of that up? And then they got the balls. They got the balls to put out a press release talking about how much money they donated to stop world hunger. That's my money. You tell those kids that's my money. Let's stop pretending that a corporation can even be woke or unwoke or patriotic or unpatriotic. Let's just let corporations live their truth as the profit-seeking Patrick Bateman psychopaths they are. At the very least, we might finally get some honesty from them as well. Take a look.
Hi, we're corporate America.
Not any specific one, all of them.
And over the years, we've pledged our commitment to some important causes like gay rights, democracy, and something to do with black people.
But this month, we're proud to celebrate our biggest commitment of all. No longer pretending that we give a shit about any of that. Part of our new honesty, we pledge no more mission statements or awareness campaigns or promises to increase diversity in management.
You think a year ago we'd be putting up 2 straight white people as spokesmen?
God, no. We would hire 2 diverse actors to pretend they worked here. What a time.
What a time. But from now on, we're just going to go back to doing what we are designed to do, making products as cheaply as we can and selling them to you at the highest price possible.
Yes, but we'll still be carbon neutral because it's important to get to net zero.
I mean, we never did that in the first place.
I don't even know what it means.
And here at corporate America, love is love.
No, we're not doing that.
We already told them.